On a construction site, we're used to being aware of what's going on overhead. But as automation begins to help shorten building timelines, it pays to notice what's underfoot. I'm Kiran Chetry. For the next few weeks, I'm traveling the country, checking in on the ways robotics and other automated processes are removing complexity from manufacturing. In the process, these new tools lay a new foundation for our supply chain and the skill sets of the workforce. Welcome to the United States of Automation. Welcome to Mountain View, California, a town that helped frame up what we know today as Silicon Valley. It's still a place where innovation comes in all shapes and sizes. So we get a peek behind the curtain today. We're at Dusty Robotics headquarters.
Yeah, welcome to our office. So what our product is, it's a printer that takes the digital model of the building and it brings it out into the field. Typically our tool is used by the foreman, who's the most experienced, most skilled worker on the job site. And that foreman is responsible for making sure that layout gets done accurately, typically by doing it himself. He's on his hands and knees, measuring out dimensions and snapping lines with chalk. And we thought, well, of course we could build a robot that would do that a lot more accurately and a lot faster than people are doing it today. Rework is where you make a mistake during construction, you have to bring the crews back in order to do it again. And a lot of times when that happens, it's because the right information was not in the right place at the right time. The goal of Dusty is to bring all of that information out into the field so that people can build it right the first time.
We, in our robot design, have focused on the accuracy of the system. We have sophisticated algorithms inside the robot that fuse all of the data together to figure out where the robot is precisely to much better than a 1/16 of an inch.
We still leave lines on the ground that their installation crew sees essentially the same product. It's one of our mission statements to make it as simple as possible for someone to use. And we have a lot of success training people as young as 18 to training as grizzled old foremen as 65 years old out in New York. And because of that, we have to approach this from a universal standpoint of this needs to be ready to pick up and play as soon as you get it.
I've really been looking forward to this part, which is actually seeing the robot at work.
Yes, so there are three main parts of the system. There is the robot, which you see in front of us. There is a total station, which you see here on a tripod. That's what guides the system and gives it the precision and the accuracy that it needs. And then there's the tablet that Max is holding there, and that contains the digital plans that we're going to be running the robot to get printed on the floor.
All right, there we go. See you, Dusty. Heading into the future. So here we are. This is a site of what's going to be a biotech company. How crucial is it for Dusty robots to be able to make sure that you get it precise?
Yeah, I mean, layout really is the first step of interior build out. And any mistake now, it's going to require us to rip out some work and put it back in. So getting it right first on the ground is crucial.
When it comes to field printing, how much faster is Dusty?
We've measured this and we're finding about 4 to 6 times faster. If you had to lay out 100,000 points and a human would get it 99% correct, we still have 1,000 points that you'd have to go back and correct. And so with Dusty, we're not only getting the 100% accuracy, but we're getting that 4 to 5x improvement in just the layout speed.
In a space like this, how long would it take to do it with the chalk method versus field printing with Dusty?
We're talking about at least a week for the walls, and then maybe a couple of weeks for each trade. With Dusty, it took us 2.5 days to do all the lines on the ground, and it took us 9 days to get all the points for all the trades down.
Right now you're using Dusty on a small percentage of your jobs. How do you see that going in the future?
The sky's the limit, I think. I really would love to see Dusty on all of our jobs, really from the quality, from the productivity gains to just opportunities for new operators. I really want to see this thing succeed.
Greg Knutson of AT&T says that automation is not only expanding in functionality, but also getting easier for businesses to adopt.
Construction is just like a large assembly line that you might think of in a normal factory, only it's sprawling, it's outdoors, it's a little bit more uncontrolled, but essentially if we can take the same things we're doing inside a factory out to a construction site, think about the productivity that we could see. The computer visualization available through automation allows construction companies to ensure their workers are safe and that they actually use the protective gear that's given to them to perform the task safely. You know, technology really builds upon itself. For example, the 5G phones are much faster than the 4G phones, which built upon the 3G technology. All of this technology over the course of time has improved and enabled construction companies and even the average consumer to benefit from some of the higher speeds and lower latencies that are available today that weren't around 10 years ago.
I see this world in which over time the technology gets better, the tools get better, and then the number of features you can put into a building increase. Nowadays we have solar power that gets installed in buildings. We have networking that gets installed in buildings. Those things didn't exist a long time ago, but they exist now. Our technology can enable people to build much more complex buildings in the future.
I think the world is inevitably moving towards more automation. Whether it's self-driving cars or better technology in your home, or whether it's better technology on a construction site, companies all across the world are creating more and more technology that enable us to automate away the dull, dirty, dangerous tasks that humans are facing today. And so Dusty is part of this wave of companies that's creating the future through bringing more automation to industries that have not traditionally benefited from it, and construction is one of the forefront of those. One of the reasons we're bringing automation to the construction industry is to really help solve these crises. We want to make it possible for everyone to have an affordable place to live, for people to live in buildings that are designed perfectly for them, and create the built environment of the future.
As automation transforms our world building by building, where will it take us next? Keep watching to find out.